This is Hardcore Uprising, Rising mode, speedrun with Sayuri, the melee character. I'll be commentating just to explain some of the strategies I'm using for speedrunning, and also just to show off some of the cool things in this game. This is the best Contra game, if anybody has not played it but is interested. All upgrades are unlocked. That's what a Rising mode does. So you're going to see a big damage boost among other things. First thing I'm doing is I'm aiming downwards to take out the boxes as well as the soldiers. The bombs that fall from above will get caught in the hitbox for the slash. It's a pretty big hitbox. There's only one bomb towards the end, right before the bike segment, that I have to aim upwards to get. So the damage boost takes care of bosses really quick. The Quicksand starts right there, so this is where I have to keep jumping to keep a good speed. Air dashing leaves you vulnerable, so you gotta be careful with that. Vaulting here, flash that guy. This is where I aim up just to take care of that bomb. Then I just throw a projectile through the wall there, and I land just before the bike, so that I don't automatically walk towards it. That saves a couple seconds. Two jumps and two dashes, like so, will lead you just to the left of the center here, where the worm is going to come out. So what this does is I can just aim upwards like this and take care of him really quickly before he goes off screen. He normally moves upward off the screen really quickly. If that happened, that would ruin the run. It would be about 20 seconds before he comes back down for me to hit him. That jump just takes a little bit of practice. It's not always easy, but you get used to it, basically. So this level has poisonous plants that will slow me down when they emit gas right there. So I'm vaulting for most of this, occasionally slashing just to save time because some of the dodging is slow. So if I do get hit by the gas, it's going to slow me down a lot. I'm going to lose a lot of time, so I have to just keep dodging as much as I can. Now is where I slash down to take care of the bugs beneath me. I want to be very careful not to fall in the water. If you fall if you die by falling, you lose your damage upgrade. And that makes bosses a lot longer. That kind of ruins the run for certain levels. This is one of the levels that it will ruin the run if you can't kill the boss in time. And taking a few accidental hits. There's a perfect run, but it'll do. This is one of the most difficult portions because you've got the poison plants as well as bugs jumping out of the water. I have to use my invincible jump here. That's one of the upgrades, that your jump is invincible going upwards. So I do have to take that a little bit slow just to make sure I don't fall and lose my damage upgrade. So if I did lose my damage upgrade, this fight would be really long because he would teleport into the trees and start sniping me. But it's done really quick, as you can see. So I do want to aim down, but I also want to vault over that flamethrower on the ground right there. Definitely using my invincible jump right there. That second blade is a bit too difficult for me to just go through with using invincible jumps. Maybe cross over. I am going to take a couple hits of damage here. It's inevitable when I have to get that close. Bolting once here, and bolting twice here. That help at all. Invincible jump through there. This portion is just an auto scroller, it doesn't affect the time in any way. I definitely do need to take a couple hits of damage, taking this guy out. The floor is electrified. It's meant to be hit with projectiles, but it's much faster if you just hit with melee. Do have the invincible jump through that projectile right there. And the helicopter's coming, I just jump as soon as I see it. So if I had lost the, if I had fallen at any time during this stage, that would have also probably ruined the run, because that ship does go underwater quickly after that that projectile that I jumped through, which makes it impossible to hit. This level is almost entirely an auto-scroller, so it doesn't... Most of what I do here, it doesn't really affect the time. It's mostly the boss that affects the time. I should have taken damage right there, but my jump is invincible, so that makes it okay. Yeah, this game is a lot harder when you don't have all the upgrades. Still not the hardest Contra game. It's actually, I would say it's one of the easiest Contra games. Mostly because you actually have a life bar. This boss is a little bit tricky because you just... just have to get really close to him in order to damage it. So right there, if I was not that close, it would move off screen and I wouldn't be able to hit it for about 10 seconds. I would lose about that much time. This is more made for the shooting characters, range characters, whatever you want to call them. So it's a bit difficult for Sayuri. I do have to take some damage in a lot of places here, like right there. Here's another part I have to get in here, so I do have to take damage here. That's also inevitable. Oh, that he moves upwards right here, so I move up with him. Now this part is a little bit special. I intentionally take a hit right here. That way I become invulnerable temporarily while he's spinning. If I had taken a hit while he was spinning instead of beforehand, that would have added a couple seconds of him just spinning while I'm just falling on the ground. Well, 6 minutes is about as good as you're going to get for that stage. So this stage is kind of interesting. It starts out with a stealth segment. This is made by Konami because it's a Contra game, published by Konami. So it does give cardboard boxes for you to hide in as a Metal Gear Solid reference. Unfortunately, we don't need to do any of the stealth here. We're just going for a speed run. So it's we're just going through slicing everything in our path. I have to hold down right there because there is a trap where a soldier is right below me. Stealth segment's over, so I'm just running and taking the high road here. There's a jump right here, so I did fire a projectile across just to make sure I made it. This boss goes down quick. So this is a very hard segment. You can see I just fell to death, so I did lose my damage upgrades. This is probably the roughest part of the speed run because it's so easy to fall during this section. The platforms are so thin, and there's so many things that are out to knock you over. Here's the escort mission. I gotta make sure the doctor doesn't die, or else not only do I lose a life, but it takes a very long time for him to respawn. He took a hit here, but I try to prevent all the rest of the hits by keeping my slashes over the robots so they don't explode. That is, the debris will hit him if they explode. So this boss is going to take a little bit longer than it would if I did not lose my damage upgrade from the fall. It doesn't lose a whole lot of time, maybe 10 seconds at most. That's why it doesn't ruin the run. I did take a hit there, that was just my mistake. So now that the arms are good, I just go for the alien thing.
A true warrior.
This level is also mostly an auto-scroller, that is, aside from the bosses. So, again, there's not going to be very much commentary because it's very little of what I do makes any difference on the speedrun. So normally you're intended to duck beneath the high flames, but if you do have the invincible jump, I'm just showing you here, you can just jump through the flames if you want. That's only if you have the invincible power-up. Upgraded, that is. This definitely, this stage involves me using the projectiles a lot because the enemies tend to be on either sides of the trains. And if you haven't noticed, the music in this game is really good. It's made by Daisuke Ishitari from Guilty Gear and BlazBlue. This was developed by Arc System Works, who develops those games. It was just published by Konami, at least to my knowledge. Well, that was an accident. I knew it was gonna hit the. Oh no! You know what? Actually, normally it hits the middle car. That's why I was on the left. I just didn't realize in time that it was going for the left cart. So that was a mistake on my part. For this boss, what I want to do is I want to align my front foot with the edge of the cart right there, and then crouch. This position gives me just enough range to hit him without jumping, and also to duck under the lasers. It's a little bit specific, that's why I mention it. This one, all I have to do is just crawl up. I should not have jumped right there. So I did just fall to my death. I did lose my damage upgrade, but luckily this boss goes down pretty quickly, so it makes very little negative effect. So I only maybe lost 5 seconds. That's not too bad. I just have to remember not to jump to reach it. You can easily slash it from the top of the car.
A true warrior.
This right here is the longest stage. You're going to see a lot of different different segments. A lot of them are all auto-scrollers.
Huh? Where is he?
Actually, I think it's only like 2. I'm vaulting over these first. After the first crocodile, I'm just going back to slashing downwards. Vaulting here, and continuing. I generally only need to slash forward going upwards like this, but there is a sniper at the very end of this segment that I do need to aim downwards to make sure I get right here. This part is mostly auto-scrolling, just going up the elevator. This segment is intended to be a platforming segment where you just jump between all those small platforms. It's usually pretty difficult, but with the invincible jump, all you need to do is just climb the wall and just jump through the barriers. This part is a little bit tricky if you don't know what you're doing. You just gotta make sure you go above the exploding tank. I have to take out that sniper first, or else it's gonna hit me during this segment. Take 7 hits from projectiles. Take down the helicopter. I do that again here. I don't need to take out that gunman. I do need to slash that window though. This segment is also an auto-scroller. Just requires that you get used to jumping down and then air dashing to get to the missile you want to cling to. Again, just invincible jumping through the barriers. There's a lot more enemies this time around. This is a very difficult segment. Luckily, I did not fall, so I did not lose my upgrade. I have fallen many times on that segment. So I did have to invincible jump through those bombs that he was dropping, and I'm also just, again, invincible jumping through the barriers. This segment is really tricky because you can try to dodge through the bombs, but it must be the hitbox or something. It's very difficult, very finicky to dodge the bombs. But once you get in front of him, you're pretty much set. You don't need to dodge the bombs anymore. You just gotta run. Yeah, he did just teleport in front of me right there. The reason I'm clinging to the ceiling right there is because sometimes he blows open the floor. Had I lost my upgrade, he would have gotten into a fight with me. That would have taken a little bit longer. This fight goes really quickly. Just gotta duck under these 3 shots and invincible jump through the 4th shot.
You're poorly trained.
Time to say goodbye.
I won't let you escape. Warning. Warning. Warning.
This one's really easy too, you just gotta aim upwards.
a true warrior.
This is the final stage. In my opinion, has the best music.
Unforgivable.
This segment is also mostly auto-scrolling, but when you're Sayuri, all you have to do is swipe upwards. If you're using a gun user, a shooting character, you might not be doing enough damage. Or melee attacks do more damage than typical guns. So, with an ordinary character, you just have to dodge. There's actually a little bit of slowdown here. There's so many enemies in this segment that there is a little bit of slowdown, I noticed. If anything, I would say that just makes it a more exciting game. This is one of my favorite games of all time, so... Just a little bit difficult. So that was a big mistake right there. I got hit too many times. Normally I'd be able to get through this segment a lot quicker. Yeah, that right there is really embarrassing. Normally I wouldn't upload a run with this many mistakes in this level, but the first 7 levels went so well overall that I think it's fine. This segment is really tough to not fall, so I do use my invincible jump a lot here. Sometimes you just gotta play it safe. So this boss fight is a little tricky. There's a lot of room to fall off the edges. You have to hit these orbs first. So I am using the projectile here. It's a little bit safer. And not necessarily quicker, but I think it's worth it to fire the projectile instead of going up directly to it, just so you don't fall off the edge. I came very close to falling right there. So you want to kill all these pillars, starting with the one furthest on the left. But you want to make sure that the last one you get is a pillar that's hanging from the top. Because you want to climb to the top like that. Crawl your way to the right. Wait for it to pass you, and then do that. What usually happens is that you have to hit it one hit at a time, and it moves back and forth. If you let it pass you, first of all, it won't kill you. Second of all, you kind of confuse it into staying in the same place if you hit it from behind. So you can hit it all in one go. So I'm a little bit sad. This is one of my favorite parts of the game, due to the intentionally, hilariously bad voice acting. Unfortunately, I don't get to show you the voice acting here. I just kill him too quickly.
Can I beat you up? Let's begin the final battle.
This boss would normally, if I had lost my damage upgrades, this would take
But you grow tired of
twice as long. So this actually is the longest boss fight in the game in terms of health. And you notice that I did jump a couple times just to make sure I didn't get hit by the stomp and the flamethrower that he was about to throw out. I killed him just before he came out. This is the final boss. Under ordinary circumstances, this is honestly one of my favorite boss fights of all time. It is very tense, very methodical, but it goes very quickly. It's possible to kill him when he's on the left right there without him moving. I've only done it once. It's very tricky. So even though I did fall and lose my damage upgrade, he was almost dead anyway, so I took care of him really quickly. Just 3 jumps will make it to the helicopter. So that's the speedrun. I believe the fastest time is 36:25, if I'm correct. And I have 38:36. That's not bad. So, alright, well, I hope hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this gets you into speedrunning hardcore.